Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon.
Yo, VI, play the beat.
Well, hello there, children. It's the Capricorn moon. How was that Sagittarius moon for you? Did you have any crazy adventures? Sound them off in the comments, I'm curious. Page of Cups. Sitting on the beach. Holding her cup. She feels less immature and a little bit more sure with what she holds. I'm feeling some dents in that cup, but it's not leaking, I think, yeah, we poured out our sunshine, didn't we? We got shot full of holes, and we used it to make a watering can, and we just took it somewhere else. Took it to a place in a space that could use the water. And created an ocean. What's locked in? I don't know why I had to say it that way because it was the Four of Pentacles. But the Four of Pentacles was locked in. A foundation is secured because of some kind of protective barrier around it. The Emperor and the Two of Pentacles. We're slow starting today. This is interesting. The growth and development has sure been interesting. Where's this Emperor going? What's he doing with those two pentacles? What's he doing with those 2 cents that he's got there? Is he investing? Is he thinking about investing in this Page of Cups? Like maybe he could send a few pentacles that way. It feels like a worthy cause. Whatever this Page of Cups is doing, however she is carrying her cup through these war zones, holding it up above the waters in the oceans, standing on her ground, and how she pours and waters. Something about all of this small thing that this character has been growing, is bringing in attention. And it makes me feel like this Emperor is shipping his 2 cents on over to add to the mix. Sending out reinforcements. And it may feel like a small gesture, but whatever small gesture it was, I feel like was true. I feel like the intention behind it was actually just to not come off intimidating because of the position difference between the Page of Cups and the Emperor. You didn't want to come off too aggressive. So something a little bit lighter, as the Six of Swords? Freudian slip. Page of Swords. Fell to the floor. I feel like I'm just seeing the sword like cutting those balloons loose. it's a gift or an offering, something that's going to set something free, set something else or someone else free. It's like, you know, those scenes in the movies where they're like where the two characters are like in like a sword fight or something, and the other one, Nine of Swords, we're going through a fight scene right now in our heads. It's like a fight scene in our heads, and the two characters have swords, and the underdog or the good guy gets the bad guy down on the ground, and you do that dramatic swing like they're gonna get him, and then like they just drop the sword like right next to their head, like like I could have killed you there, but I didn't, because I'm not that kind of a person. But like it was just a real close call. Like I just feel like I'm so glad that I like turned at that moment. I'm so glad that I turned my head, went that direction, did whatever I did over there. Because if I would have turned this way, if I would have moved into that line, then it would have been over. It would have been done. We would have been done for, man. Whatever this foundation, whatever this thing that we were trying to secure was, we would have taken ourselves out of it simply by paying too much attention to it, getting too involved in it. So the best thing to do is to turn that cheek and like, no, I think I'm being directed over here. Do this thing. Deal with this thing right here. And that's how we get that narrow miss. The narrow miss. All right. How do I want to take you? The way that you fell was interesting. Well, the Nine of Swords did want to come out with the Nine of Cups. Put you over here. Pair of nines. But this pair of nines feels like they feed each other. Like every stress and every worry goes into a cup of wine, of alcohol, of numb. I don't know if this is the kind of party I would want to go to. This, wombats? Sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come. I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come. It's not that I hate you. I just hate everyone. And I don't want to party unless I'm getting numb. I don't want to be around you people unless I'm getting numb, is the energy vibe of this. Like, I don't even want to deal with any of you unless I am getting numb. And that's not a way to go about and live our lives. That's a negative consequence. That's not dealing with those issues. That's just dropping them into a cup. That's just taking our thoughts, dropping them into our feelings, and letting them dump out all over the place. But it did all come in reverse. So we will take that into consideration. Again, it's a bit like this is narrowly missed energy. Like we were diverted from this, but it was a very real possibility that it could have gone down like this. Like it was very real that it could have happened that way. But what we got was the Four of Wands and Justice behind it. And I think that energy is what turned everything on its head. Sorry, I had to get quiet to express and hear the words that you need to get quiet and listen to the universe, listen to your intuition, listen to whatever lines, borders, or barriers are being put up right now, because they're like temporary ropes. It's not a jail cell. It's not a locked door. It's just a VIP rope. And not getting into that party, what's on the other side of that rope is actually karmically good. It's actually karmically a good thing that spirit universe put those ropes, those velvet ropes around that area right now, because there was stuff going on in there. There was a construction zone, and you would have gotten hurt. A lot of people could have gotten hurt if we would have stepped into this situation while we were setting up the party, because something really needed to be cleaned up and something really needed to be put in its proper place. That balance, that cleanliness needed to occur before we could even walk into the room. Now I'm feeling the energy of like kids skittering around before like mom and dad comes home, like, oh crap, we gotta clean this house, they're gonna be so mad that we did all this stuff. And it's like that, and that is a good thing to have and to hold within your persona. Is that daddy energy, is that mommy energy, is that like, okay, everybody was screwing around, but when we walk into the room with this card, everyone straightens up, everyone sits up just a little bit straighter, they all clean, they know what time you're coming home from work, and they're gonna clean the kitchen to make sure that it is pristine for you when you walk in there. Why? Because they know that that's what you expect, and they know that that's what you appreciate. And because they give you that appreciation, because they give you that respect to clean up before you walk into the room, you give them that's why you love them. That's why you love them. That's why I love you guys. I know that's why I give you grace, and for your shenanigans, and for your foolery, and for your nonsense. Because I know you know better, and I know you can do better, and when you show me that you can do better, it fills my heart with pride and love and joy for you. And that's why I'm going to give you my 2 cents. It is a kind guidance and help. It's support. It's that familial support, that validation that we're all looking for, something bigger than ourselves that we respect, giving us back that reciprocation of no, you know, you're doing great. I give you grace. I give you this. I give you what you need to keep moving. It's not, I'm sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come back in my head. Yeah, there's a lot of forgiveness, and there's a lot of grace here for how people are, and making allowances and putting up those velvet ropes and boundaries. Again, it's not a jail cell, it's not a locked door, but like, maybe don't come into this room right now. It's getting ready for you. And that's good. Listening to that and having that patience and like, oh, it's not my time. That's what prevents us from creating situations for ourselves that are only going to cause those drops in our energy level, to distract us, disorient us, get ourselves so numb that we're not functioning in other areas, because all of our worries are just being numbed out. And that's a poor cycle to be riding. That's a poor cycle to be riding, right? So that's why the Emperor doesn't give in that way. But what he does and how he shows up is important, because he's not trying to be that big bad coming down on you, but he wants you to know that I expect this kitchen to be clean before we come in. That was great. It was enjoyable. All right, what came down? What feather fell onto Justice and the Four of Wands? The Magician. We're hard at work here. Yes, we are hard at work, carving out our place in the world, carving out this space. And carving is intense. If you could put yourself in the emotional position of the wood being carved. If you could put yourself in the emotional position of the steel being forged, getting stuck in a hot fire and bashed with a hammer till you're sharp and pointed and can take and give direction and cut through that bullshit. Forging is not easy. Forging doesn't feel great. It doesn't look great. It is not a comfortable experience to be forged. However, we do it because we want something solid, because we want something strong. We want something as strong as steel, and the only way we can make it bendable and mutable and movable enough to take the shape and the sharpness that we desire is to apply great power to it. I can just hear like steel and hammer like in the back of my head, like just working away, creating and making that new space. It's ugly. It's ugly, it's harsh, it's hard, but gosh, is it beautiful? When you take the right steps, it moves so quickly and so smoothly, and all of a sudden that hammer isn't so abrasive anymore. It's a rhythm, it's a beat, it's something you can even dance to. It brings you lightness, it brings you joy as you continue to hammer away, because you're exerting and expressing that energy in a healthy, constructive way. You took all of that stuff that was built up inside of you, and instead of lashing out in that direction, you took it and you channeled it into something that you wanted to build. Now all of that aggression is still coming out of you, but it's being placed properly in order to create something, not just to destroy something. So there's something to be said about picking something apart to try to get it cleaner, as just as much as there is something to the forging and the reinforcements that come through because of that. This is like epic skill. It started off all romantic with this Page of Cups, and it just like nothing to do with that. Nowhere in that direction. This is a war zone. This is a city construction being built. These are divine. This is all just that divine system of putting things into its proper place. Why did I stop here? The divine system of putting things into its proper place, and then I get these people putting coals into the fire of the devil's belly. Is that the proper place? Who's feeding the devil? Who out there is feeding the devil? Is it you? Which one? That temptation is there, though. It is. It's real. Those 9 swords could so easily just drop into those 9 cups, and we could just numb all of this out and not even participate with it. We could. It's all up in the air. Who knows? Who knows? Do we walk the path of the righteous, or we just dive back down into a spiral of self-loathing? What are we gonna do now? There's that. There it is. There's the devil again. Ace of Swords is on top, though. What's in between? Ace of Swords, the Hierophant to the devil, is how that came out. Pointed knowledge and wisdom and understanding of true God. And when I say true God, and you think about your God, I want you to know that you're right. I want you to know that the other person who's watching this and thinking about their God is right. We're all right, because God is good, and good is good. And evil is evil, and there is good and there is evil. There is right and there is wrong, and having the strength to know and speak on the difference and take action towards these things. Is this devil fueling this Hierophant and teaching people poison? Then we got to take the sword to it. Is this Hierophant giving us good, helpful insights and advice and how to utilize this sword against this devil? Perhaps. Whichever way you see it play it out, You gotta know and have your own discernment in a situation for what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is not. And we have to be able to take action with that, speak on it, and discern and decipher for ourselves what is truly good and what is truly wrong. And using that discernment and applying it to situations that doesn't make any one particular emperor, that doesn't make any one particular emperor or person sitting in a throne one or the other of these characters, because we carry both. We carry the capability and the wisdom of knowing how to be righteous, and we also carry this with us, and we don't get to put either one of them down. It is a constant war and battle, and it is a day-to-day, situation-to-situation discernment that we have to make in our choices and our actions that we take. Are we listening to our higher, lighter intuitions, or are we feeding the belly of the beast and diving further into those dark places and spaces that we know don't do any good for us? We know that this doesn't result in something that is going to feel good, be productive, like 2020 on the counter, like seeing clearly, having 2020 vision between and discernment between these two, and understanding that it's circumstantial and situational always. What was it? Blazing Mellow said, the answer in life is always, it depends. Depends. Is this right? Is this wrong? Well, it depends. What does it depend on? All of the other elements and circumstances in the situation. They all need to be taken account for and weighed and measured on the individual scale. It's not for us to weigh and measure for somebody else. It's for us to discern and decipher for ourselves which path we want to take. And that's going to lead us down our road. That's going to take us where we want to go. That's what we're going to do. The actions that we take dictate the paths that we make. Wherever we go and whatever we do. I don't know if I have anything else. I want to keep pulling, but also, like, I don't know if I need to. I don't know if we're going to go any other direction. Truly, that is the message of this Capricorn moon, is you got to figure it out for yourself. What's right? What's wrong? Act in that. Speak on that. Respecting those boundaries and borders that are put up in front of us, and understanding that they're there for a reason. And they might be movable, but something is getting ready, and that's why you can't come in yet. And we should ourselves be getting ready to take that position and take that seat, to take that throne when we walk in. When we walk into the room, we want to be the reason why they got up and cleaned up everything before we walked in there. If you walk in there, a piece of trash, yelling that there's trash everywhere, okay, well, it's your trash that's laying all over the place, don't you know? Why do I gotta clean up your mess? You know what I mean? But if you walk in clean and ready to get down to business, then it's not even a question. That's why. Because you walked into the room and you got straight to work and you showed us why. That's why we prepared everything for you, because we knew if you had everything set up right, we were all going to have a good day. We were all going to have a great day and everything was going to function properly because we did this. Because we showed up that way. And how do other people show up that way in our lives? By showing up that way for ourselves, by using that discernment and not feeding into the belly of the beast. Understanding and recognizing when that shadow is necessary and when it's not. Where to take ourselves and our energy and where we don't need to take it. Where it doesn't need to go. Respecting those boundaries. Maybe even putting up a few velvet ropes of our own. Right? Maybe just putting up a couple, like, you know what? Right now, this space, it's getting ready. It's not ready yet. But it's getting there. And putting those ideas and thoughts into their proper places, rather than numbing them out, rather than disregarding them altogether. Really getting down into it. That's the stuff. Keep digging. Some like excess like Taurus energy still kind of seeping off and into this Capricorn moon. Like, just keep digging. Keep digging, because we're getting to the shiny parts. We're polishing the stones now. When you put stones in the rock tumbler, they gotta tumble for weeks. It is loud, it is grating, it is obnoxious, and they go through so much to get smooth, to get polished, to get clean, to get right. But it's worth it if you can withstand all of that tumbling. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's right so long as you believe it's right. You are your own judge. You are your own jury. You are your own discernment. And if you are acting in good or bad, and it's your choice how you continue to progress through that. That's it, folks. That's what we got. I hope you all have a fantastic moon, and we'll see you next time.